Good afternoon and welcome to our Facebook Live. So we're live at 5 or just after on Friday the 13th of November. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're joining me live, do pop on and say hi so that I know you're there. If you're watching on catch up, you're welcome to comment, and I check that every few days, and so if you've got any questions, I'll quite happily answer them for you. So I hope everybody is well. Rolling on to the weekend. This week seems to have gone so fast, as always, but I hope you have a nice weekend planned if you have a weekend away from work. So today I'm going to be using this stamp set here called Beautiful Autumn. It's not one that I've used before. It just so happens that I've used it for our non-Christmas class in a box for November. So I'll show you the cards at the end of this session and the box that will go to make up our class in a box for November, and this is the non-Christmas version, and it's also a fun fold class. Hi Jeanette. So there's some fun fold designs in there just to give you a little bit of a challenge and something a little bit different from making some standard cards. So this stamp set is £16. It's a photopolymer stamp set, and as you can see it's very much themed around autumn. It does have a set of punches that match the main stamps. So we have like a sycamore or a maple leaf, we have an acorn and an oak leaf, and that's what the punches match. And then we have some leaves, smaller leaves, we have a pine cone and a little, it's not a wheat ear, but it's something similar to that. And then some really nice sentiments. Have a beautiful day. Hey there. A nice thank you. It's a nice size. Life is better with you. And then my heart is grateful for you. So some nice sentiments, and all of these stamps have an outside image and an inside layer, so you don't have to do any colouring in if you don't want to. Hi Carol with an E. You can just use the stamp to stamp the inside. So I've got a selection of colours of ink to hand. So I've got Bumblebee, Cajun Craze, Soft Suede, Early Espresso of course, and Crumb Cake, which will help me do the acorn, for example. So you've got two different fill-in stamps for the acorn, so you can have a darker top. Hi Carol, lovely to have you join us. And Isabella, excellent. Hi Isabella, hope you're waving, I hope you're crafting. It's got a hey there as well, I think I missed that comment out. So that is the stamp set, and there are 3 punches that you can buy that go with it. So we've got the oak leaf, the maple or sycamore leaf, and the acorn. You can the punches come as a pack of 3, but you can buy them with the stamp set at a 10% discount. You can use the punches also on their own, just to punch out pieces of card. If I just take the middle of one of these, I'm going to use these to layer onto, but let me just punch out a few images. I'm going to go right sort of into the centre just to show you. Oops. So there's the oak leaf. It's very sweet. This is the maple or sycamore, depending on whether you're in Canada or Europe. It's this one here. And then finally we have the acorn. Oh, great. Glad to see you waving. And then this is the little acorn. Okay, so these are obviously designed to cut out the stamped pieces as well, but they will work in their own right, especially the leaves here. So what I thought I'd do for today is use our note cards, oh, that's got something on it, and envelopes. Just so I'm going to cover that up and put a layer on top. This is from our Simply Sentimental dies, and then I'm going to pop another layer on top of that. And I thought I'd do two designs. One is with the Stamping Central with a sentiment, and the other is with the sentiment in the middle and then the leaves coming in round the edge. That's what I have in my head anyway. We will see if that transpires. It's on pages, it's on page 46. It's part of the suite, but it is on page 46 of your catalogue. So if you have a catalogue to hand and you want to look at the set, Beautiful Autumn is £16. It's a really good price stamp set, and the set of punches are 36. So normally that would be 52 altogether, but it's discounted to 46.75 if you buy them at a bundle at the same time. It is part of this Gilded Autumn suite, which you can see here. And for my class in a box, I have actually matched it with my favourite papers, the Gilded Autumn papers, and they're foiled in gold and bronze. Copper and gold, it says. Okay, so let's give this a go. So I'm going to start with one piece here, and I think I'm going to do, actually I might do this one this way round, only because I want to use the thank you, and I'm not sure that it will fit this way. Ooh, it does. Okay, so I'm going to do one like this with the floral images above, and then another one with the thank you in the middle. That's my plan. So let's stamp the thank you first. And we know what colour that will be stamped in, don't we? Okay. So I've got my thank you stamp. Just going to try it on here. Okay, so I think this is just going to fit. It's going to be close, but I think it will fit. It's because I'm looking at the stitch lines, so I want to make sure it fits in the stitched lines, which it does, if you can see that, like so. So what I'm going to do while I've got this one to hand is put the thank you in the centre of this one. So if you are doing floral images, this is quite a good way to get two cards out of one, by effectively doing a single spray of flowers here, and this could be leaves or anything, and then one's going around the outside. So that's my intention. So what I'm going to do is just mount up these stamps. So I've got the leaf here, and the little sycamore or maple, and I've got the oak, and this little like a wheat sheaf, barley I can never remember which one it is, which one's which. And then I will use the infills shortly. Let's just pop the acorn there as well and see how we get on. Okay, so I think I'm going to start by stamping the larger leaf in espresso. As I say, I do have a variety of colours. So let's start with this one here. So I hope that's all clear for you lovely ladies. So I'm going to stamp one here and then down here. So I haven't re-inked it in between because I wanted a lighter version, like so. And if you can see that, I don't know if that, how clear that is on there. Okay, and I think while I'm at it, which I know is a bit back to front, but I'm thinking it will save you some time watching me later. Going to stamp these going around. Now these little stamps have got a lot of detail in them, so you don't even need to fill them in. You could colour them in with blends if you wished, or you could use the infills. It's entirely up to you. Let's just put this one here, that's been stamped off, and here. There we go. So just added a little bit in for that one. Then I've got like the sort of wheat piece, and I'm going to use Bumblebee for that. Okay, so ink this up. There we go, that's so cute. And so I'm just going to add these in. And this doesn't need to be autumnal. I've chosen to do it in my favourite autumn colours because I am a bit of an autumn person. But you could do these. I mean, this you could almost make into lavender if you did this in Gorgeous Grape or in Highland Heather. I had to think about that then. So just really pretty stamp. Hi Laura, thanks for joining us. I hope you're well. And I hope you've had a good week anyway. So let's just add this in. So I'm doing sort of 2 cards at the same time, Laura. I'm just doing the panels for each of those, like so. And what I might do with this one, so stamp that off. As I might, on either one, I might actually add a bow or something to the middle. So this is very well stamped off now, just in the background, like so. So I've got this one and this one. So I've just used the 2 stamps so far. And then I've got Cajun Craze, Soft Suede and Crumb Cakes. So I might use Cajun Craze and do a couple of oak leaves, like so. I definitely need to re-ink this one, that's for sure. Now what I'm going to do is punch a couple of these out and add them on top to get a 3D effect. Let's just pop this one in there. And here. like so. So I quite like that as it is, and I think what I'll do is I'll step this one up with some layers. So to show you how the infill works for this flower here, let me just grab that. Find the stamp set. Right, so this is this one here, and I'm just going to use crumb cake. I think it might be too light. I'll have a look and see. This is quite an old ink pad. Let's give it a go. So this is the infill, and to be honest, you could use the infill on its own as well if you wanted to. So I'm looking through the stamp, so you may not see that particularly clearly until it's stamped. Okay. So I'm going to do that for the full strength ones, and then leave the second generation ones open. But if you wanted to, you could use blends pens or watercolour pencils, or even Stampin' Up markers to fill those in. Oh, there's one here too. Let's do that one. Let's stamp this one off first, so I've got a lighter tone. There we go. So that's that one. Let's fill in one of these. Sorry about the shadow when I'm between the stamp and the light. I need to get my other light out, so I've got one on either side, really. Balance it out a little bit. Okay, so that's that one. So now what I'm going to do is stamp some images and punch them out. So let me grab a snippet of vanilla. Oh, that's shimmer white, so it's very similar to vanilla, but it's got that little shimmer about it, so why not use those? So what I'm going to do is a couple of acorns and then fill those in. So do you have something planned for the weekend, Laura? Are you chilling? I know we're rather restricted as to what we can do, of course. Now what I'm going to do is have a look. So this punches the acorn out that way, so I'm going to come up from the bottom. I'm going to do a couple of acorns. So, and then let's do some oak leaves, and they are also that way, I believe. There we go. And then for the infill, there's two for the acorn, so that you can do a different top to bottom. There's one. And I'm desperately looking for the other one. Which I can't see. There's the top. Okay. Well, I'll show you the top piece and we'll colour in the bottom piece. There it is. So let's use soft suede for that bit. find it shortly because I had it earlier. Famous last words, girls. Okay, so this is the top part of the acorn. So I'm just looking through it. Does it need a little bit more ink than that, Jenny? Like so. Two and three, like so. And then when I find the other part of the stamp, I can colour that in. And in the meantime, that's ivory. Let's grab a crumb cake pen and colour this in. Like so. Voila. See if I've got a dark crumb cake to hand. No, everything but. Okay, so let me put this ink away. And punch these out. So these are the acorns. So I'm just going to use the acorn punch. And it's always worth checking which way the punch works so that you stamp it the right way. Just saves you having to trim around your card, really. So there's a bit of an edge all the way around. So there we are. 1, 2 and 3. Sweet. And let's just fill in this oak leaf. Let's do it with Cajun Craze. Find the infill. There it is. So your infill always wants to be lighter than your outline. Otherwise you will lose all of the detail. Now this particular ink pad is definitely in need of refilling. So I'm doing 3 of these. Whether I use these all I don't know, but while I'm here, so just to show you how easy that is to fill in. But as they're small, you could easily just colour those in, no trouble at all. Let's pop that one away and punch these out. One. And so these are the ones that I punched out earlier. So these are with non-stamping, but they're still obvious what they are. But a best match is the stamp set and the punch. As I say, this is what I've got for my November class in a box for the non-Christmas version. So I'll show you those cards in a minute. So you can have great fun lining these up. So let's have a look. I think I'm going to possibly leave this one exactly as it is, and then just add some extra dimension onto here, like so. And maybe add an acorn in. So let me just grab some small dimensionals. because they'll be the perfect size for that. Recharging. Oh, good idea. Oh, excellent, Carol, with an E. Yes, I think it's been a hectic week one way and another. So yes, a bit of recharging definitely is required. Let's just pop these on. And let's do an acorn or two. So it's a really easy stamp set and punch set to use. I have to say thank you to Sam DC from my team who lent me these whilst mine are on the way. So let's just pop these on. So I could put them over those images if I want to, or I could have them offset. Entirely up to you. I could fussy cut this one because it's not a punch for the big flower, but I'm not going to. Just thought I'd tell you that in case you think I was going to. I'm definitely not, but I might put this leaf in sort of behind there. Let's add a bit of glue. Like so. I do want to use an acorn. Theoretically, it should really be hanging down, shouldn't it? So let's do it like that. There we go. And I'm thinking just a bit of linen thread in the middle of that would be really nice. And then what I might do for this one is blend around. No, I might do it for this one is blend around the edges just to give it a little bit more movement on the edge. I could, having said I wasn't going to do that, I could add in a leaf or so here. That's quite nice. Let me just grab a bit of twine and then those two can all go together. I hope you managed some crafting, perhaps Laura, this weekend. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't know how you're doing with your Christmas cards and things. Whether you fancy doing that or not. Right, I'm just going to turn this and then tie a little knot like so with these pieces in the middle. If I can do it without, actually what I'm going to do is stick it down with a glue dot and then tie it. Excuse me. I have to say I do like this thank you, but the other sentiments in here are nice as well. My heart is so grateful, grateful for you. I think it's nice. Especially at the moment, there's so much we need to be grateful for, that's for sure. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, you can see that. So I push that down with the glue dot and I'm just going to tie these two together in the middle. So apart from getting ready for my class in a box orders, I do have a nice quiet weekend planned. I do need to do a lot of sorting out, that's for sure. There we go. So there's one, and on this one I'm going to bring in, I think, a little bit of that bumblebee, and I'm going to share a brand new product with you that will be coming out in January, and something I've been desperate to try, but Stampin' Up haven't had them up till now, and that is our blending brushes. So they come as a pack of 3, and they are like baby brushes, is the best way I can describe it, so that it's very, very fine bristles. I mean, so fine that just looks like foam, doesn't it? And it just gives a really soft effect. So I have used this already, as you can see, but most of the colour has gone. So what you can do is just tap it on your ink pad and then just prime it slightly, and then, oops, got a hair in there, you can bring this in from the edge. And what's nice about it is it's a really soft look. Just adding a little bit more. And if you don't like the sound of sponges, I have a couple of people that don't like sponges because of the noise that they make, then this is perfect. So they're Stampin' Up blending brushes, and they'll be available to order from January. If you're a demonstrator, you'll be able to order them from December. There we go. Whoops, daisy. So I just like that edge effect, and that's with the bumblebee. So if you look at the two, quite tempted to do this one as well, just in the very edges though, a little bit more subtle. And the other thing you could do with this is add, you know, a few little splats and things like that if you wanted to add some dots in, or use a blends pen or a Stampin' Up marker to flick ink onto the edge. So just done that really lightly as the background, and then this one, just going to put one in the corner because I have one left, like so. There we go. So let's pop these onto the cards. So I have 2 vanilla note cards. These are our note cards and envelopes. I'm going to use this one because I'm going to cover up whatever that is on there. It will be covered up completely. And I've got 2 different layers cut out, so I can choose from Cajun Craze and Early Espresso. This is the one I cut some leaves out of. So you could do the same with this one. As this is going to be cut up, you could either cut an area out of it or just use it to punch out some leaves that you could use to decorate the inside or the outside. Let's do a few of these. So in my class in a box, you'll get a whole assortment of these punched items. There we go. So waste not, want not. They will go into my box ready. So what I'm going to do is, I think, pop this one on here because I've used the Cajun Craze ink for that one, like so, and then this one is going to go onto the espresso. Just so sweet. And I'm going to put them flat on there. Obviously watch out around this open area for the glue, just so you don't get absolutely covered. So this is for the one that's going to go landscape, like so, like that. My thank you is going to sit on the top. Actually, I might put that up with dimensionals. Why not? So just going to put 6 on there just to support it. And then obviously if you've got the stamp set, you can stamp the envelope and the inside of your card. So I'll do that on one of them. I don't need to do both. You can work that one out. I might make this my thank you card for this month's Class in a Box. So there's that one. Like so. Let's pop this one together. So I'm just using my Tombow for that. So this layer is going flat. Like so. And because actually I've got a little bit going on here and I've got the linen thread, I will put this layer flat as well. Especially with the note cards and envelopes, you don't want too much bulk because there's not a huge gap between the size of the note card and the size of the envelope. There we go. So there we have, oh that's definitely wonky, our 2 cards. Okay, and then we can stamp the envelope. So using exactly the same as I did before, and I'll also do the inside, but I'll do that afterwards. So this is the Bumblebee colour of ink, a nice warm colour. So, and let's just pop the large leaf on there. So the stamp set is called Beautiful Autumn. Let's do this in espresso. And then I'll show you the cards from our non-Christmas Class in a Box. So this is early espresso, like that. And it's going to do that because I've got some mark there. There we go. That is it. So I hope you like the designs. Very simple and straightforward. So if you do have a foliage set that you're struggling to know what to do with, try this where you do one in the centre with your sentiment on the outside and the other with your sentiment in the centre and everything else coming in the outside. And this could be an oval, it could be a circle, it could be any shape. It could even just be a rectangle that you've cut out. It doesn't have to be a die cut. So those are my cards from today. Let me show you the ones from my Class in a Box. Thanks, Carol. Oh, Isabella loves the card. Excellent. Good. So my class in a box for November, you have two options. You can of course have both. You have the Christmas option, which is using the Trimming the Town papers. And then this one uses the Gilded Autumn papers, and it's a whole series of fancy folds as well. So here's our first one, like so. So I've got 3 different patterns of papers. You can either pull this undone or just slip it off, whichever your recipient prefers. And then as you open this up, you've got, in this case, 3 panels of papers. You can do this one as well. There's my thank you and the stamp that we just used, and that all folds up to a single standard size card. All of these will fit in a standard envelope. So that's the first one. It's called a trifold card because it's got 3 folds in it, and you'll get all the dimensions for these. We have this one here, which is a stand-up pop-out card, which is quite difficult for you to see, and even more difficult to photograph. So it's a standard card behind, and then it has this ridge popping out from the front, and again using the papers. So here I've got the stamp set, obviously, so I've stamped My Heart's Grateful for You and the little acorn, but you could obviously put a cut out acorn on there. I might do that actually, it's a bit of interest. Okay, so that's that one, and the nice thing about that is you have a card in its own right behind. So that's card number 2. Then we have a front stepper card, and again this will fit a standard card envelope. I know it's difficult for you to see like that, and if I flatten that down, you can see that, and it just pops open with a ridge. If you can, how easy you can see that in the light. So hard to photograph and make it look like anything decent, but if I do that on the side. I've taken the sentiment for that actually from a different stamp set. That's from Palette Greetings, I think it's called. So that's a step card, and you can see what I've actually done is I punched the acorns out from the papers, because the papers that come with this match the punches. So you've got the oak leaves, the sycamore or the maple leaf, and obviously the acorns. And then the 4th card is a I don't know, a double fold card, I suppose, as opposed to a trifold. So you get all of these die cuts with it. Now, if you didn't have the stamp set, you could just have that as patterned paper, or you could have that as a just a design, whichever you prefer. And so that's that one there. So that's 4 designs, and then finally you'll have the details, thanks Jeanette, for the box. So you will actually get this die cut ready and the box base ready. So I will provide the 2 tops for these, and you could use those as stencils if you wanted to. If you have the dies, obviously you can make those up. And in the pack you also get obviously the ribbon. So just to show that, I did actually do this on a Facebook Live recently, and that's where I got the idea from, to add that to this class in a box. So this fancy fold one is £20, and you have enough contents to do 2 each of those designs and 2 boxes. And you can add the optional stamp set and the punches as well if you want to. And if you've already ordered the Christmas one, or if you order both together now, then you can have both of the class in the boxes for £35 instead of £40, so a £5 saving if you ordered them both together. So I hope you like the designs, and I hope you have a nice weekend. I have sent out an email for the class in a box, both the non-Christmas and the Christmas one. If you haven't received that and you'd like more information, then please just message me or contact me or comment on this post, and I can make sure you get that information. Thanks so much for watching. We popped the cards back that we made this evening. These two here. Hope you can see those okay. They're not too distant from you. And there we have it. So I do hope you all have a good weekend. Take care and look after yourselves, look after each other. If you've got any questions on any of my videos from this week, then do just shout and let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you and answer any questions you may have. So thanks so much for being with me this afternoon. I'm going to hunt and find that missing stamp, and I look forward to catching up with you on Monday at 10 AM for my next Facebook Live. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care now. Bye bye.